Good afternoon, welcome to VANIK-IAS. We'll discuss current affairs of 15th November. First, we'll discuss objective questions. The Parliament can replace a particular law in the 9th schedule of the Constitution of India. Yes, it can replace a particular law in the 9th schedule. It can replace anything, right? Parliament can make a law on any subject, and if that is not violating of the Constitution, so it can replace a law in the 9th schedule. So, first statement is correct. The validity of the law placed in the 9th schedule cannot be examined by any court, and no judge can made on it. This is wrong. Why this is wrong? Because it was earlier the provision, but the court has nullified it. Right? Court said that such type of principle is violative of the Constitution, and that is ultra virus. Ultra virus means that is violation of Constitution. Any such provision that says that judicial review cannot be done. Supreme Court says that judicial review is a basic structure of the Constitution. So any such law which says that such type of law will not require any judicial review, that law is ultra virus or violative of Constitution. Okay. Your 9th schedule was added by First Constitutional Amendment Act. First Constitutional Amendment Act of 1951. It created 9th schedule. Right? It was created by a new article that is called as 31B and 31A. 31B and 31A. It was brought by the government to protect laws related to agrarian reform and for the abolishing of zamindari system. Abolishing of zamindari system and agrarian reform. These two laws are brought. That is the 9th schedule in the First Amendment Act of 1951. And Parliament can place a law. Parliament can make a law. Only when Parliament cannot make a law, that is violative of basic structure of the Constitution. According to Kesavananda Bharati case versus State of Kerala, 1973, in certain cases, Parliament cannot make a law. For example, that hampers the independence of judiciary, then Parliament cannot make a law that hampers the independence of judiciary, or it takes out the rights of the states, or it, for example, violation of the principle of secularism. All these things, these are violative of the Constitution, and Parliament cannot make such type of laws. Okay, if Parliament makes such type of laws, then judiciary, that is the Supreme Court, which will verify the constitutionality of a law, that will declare it as ultra virus or violative of Constitution. Okay, next. So one only option is the right answer. Which of the following statements about municipal bond is incorrect? The question is about incorrect. Sorry, municipal bonds can be issued by the city corporations. For example, Bombay Municipal Corporation, they can issue municipal bonds. Okay. Institutional investors cannot apply municipal bonds. Yes, it is right. Yes, the municipal bond can be issued by city corporations. Next statement is institutional investors cannot buy municipal bonds. This is wrong. They can buy municipal bonds. Anybody can buy municipal bonds. Municipal bonds are not permitted for public offering. This is wrong. Public offering means for the public to purchase the municipal bond. This is also wrong. That is open for public offering and also for institutional investments. Okay. This municipal bond is especially their fund for developmental projects, for capital investments, for that is for infrastructure development. Right. Remember, they are mostly exempt from the federal taxes. and from the most states and local, mostly exempted from federal taxes. Municipal bonds are exempted from federal taxes. Okay. And another thing is that bond means you will not get interest in bond. For example, there is a 100 rupee bond, you will purchase it at 80 rupees and in maturity you will get 100 rupees. Like this. So fixed amount of interest will be there. Then the principal and amount. So if you are purchasing a 100 rupees bond in 80 rupees, initially you will purchase it at less price and on maturity you will get the full amount. That is what we call as bond. Okay. Next question. Consider the following statements with respect to CRISPR technology, that is clustered regularity interspace short palindromic repeats, that is related to gene technology. CRISPR technology, it is related to gene editing. We can edit our gene. For example, there are certain diseases which are your genetic diseases, and genetic diseases cannot be easily cured. Genetic diseases cannot be easily cured, right? And how that can be cured? That by gene cutting. By cutting those portions of our genome which are responsible for that particular disease. For that, a enzyme, that is Cas9 enzyme, is used. The job of Cas9 enzyme is to cut that DNA from those persons. Right? To cut that DNA from those persons, Cas9 enzyme is used. CRISPR technology, for it is application of genetical application of biotechnology, right? It is application of biotechnology. So first question is, that is gene editing. We can edit a particular portion of gene to remove the uh, to remove those areas of the genome which are causing a particular disease. Then the CRISPR can be used to edit genes in temperature sensitive crop varieties. Can be used to edit genes in temperature sensitive crop varieties. CRISPR is a short sequence found in the genome prokaryotic organisms. Yes, it can be used. Yes, it can be used. But Cas9 is not for genome sequencing. Cas9 is for gene cutting, cutting of DNA, cutting of genes, cutting of genes. That is Cas9 is used. Yes, it can be used for sensitive temperature sensitive crop varieties, and case for a short DNA sequence found in the genome prokaryotic organisms. So 2 and 3 options are right with respect to CRISPR technology. Consider the following statements with respect to CRISPR. CRISPR-Cas9 was adopted from naturally occurring genome editing system in bacteria. Is adopted from naturally occurring genome editing system. No, 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 no. This is not natural editing genome editing system. This is artificial. CRISPR-Cas9 technology behaves like a cut and paste mechanism on DNA strands to that contain genetic information. No, this is not a cut and paste. It can cut by molecular seizure. That is the Cas9 enzyme. So both the statements are right and both the statements are wrong. Correct statement is neither 1 and 2. What is greenwashing? Best describe the term greenwashing currently seen in the news. Greenwashing means conveying a false impression that company's products are eco-friendly and environmentally sound. This is greenwashing. Conveying a false impression that the company's products are environmentally sound is called as greenwashing. Okay. Which award of the Collins Dictionary Award is the year 2022? That is perma crisis. This perma crisis is the Collins Dictionary's Word of the Year 2002. It describes that living in an age of continued upheaval and sums up quite succinctly and how truly awful 2020 has been so many life so many people. That means we are living in an age of instability and insecurity. Instability and insecurity. So many people are dying at present time because of various type of diseases. Various type of diseases are increasing. Zoonotic diseases are increasing. There is environmental degradation. There is breakdown of social norms. There is breakdown of social relationship. Divorce rates are increasing. Crime against women are increasing. Right? Depression among people is also is increasing. So this is called as perma crisis. Right? This is called as perma crisis. With reference to reservation in India, consider the following statements. Article 15 and 16 of the Constitution empower the states to make special provisions in education and jobs respectively for the socially and educationally backward section of the society and for the economical weaker section. Yes. Under 103 Constitutional Amendment, we have given reservation for the economical weaker sections. Right. So obviously past statements is right under Article 14 and 15 and 16 they are amended and under 103rd Constitutional Amendment the reservation to economical weaker section is given. The provisions under Article 15 and 16 are binding on the government. Now the provisions under Article 15 and 16 are not binding on the government. Government may amend. It says that there should be government will make some that is called as some provisions of reservation, right? Reservation of for certain section of the people, right? It is not mandatory for anything. Government may change the articles also. It can amend the articles. It has already amended, right? To promote social that is so promote socio-economic justice. So it is not binding on the government. This statement provisions with respect to Article 50 are binding on the government. Is so. I means if uh, the principles are made, then the government has to follow it. But yes, then this statement will be right with respect to that. They are binding on the government because government can amend those provisions of Article 15 and 16. Supreme Court observed that right to reservation is not a fundamental right. No, this is not a fundamental right. We cannot say that this is a fundamental right. It is observed that it is not a fundamental right. These are just some social development measures, right? To reduce the inequality in the society. Suppose there is the general here is the so far as the percentage of participation in the job sector. That's why there is reservation, but it is not a fundamental right. It is mentioned in the fundamental rights. It is mentioned in the Article 15 and 16, right? There is positive discretion also discretional written as positive discretion or affirmative action or positive discrimination to bring society equality, discrimination to bring social equality. So 1 to 3 all the options are right here. Climate finance delivery plan initiative is related to which of the following? It is related to OECD group, right? Climate finance delivery climate finance delivery plan, right? Why this is important? Because at the present time, the primarily this climate change is because of the developed countries. So if developed countries have caused this climate change, then the developed countries this must bring the solution. That's why developed countries must give two things, either money or technology. to counter this climate change, because they are responsible for the climate change. So that's why this climate finance and delivery plan is initiative was launched by OECD. Okay, that is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD. Right. These are started by initiative, that is CFDP, that is Climate Finance Delivery Plan. There is also GCF, Global Financial GCF. There is Global Climate Fund is also there, right? Global GEF, Global Environment Facility. They are also arranging funds for the developing countries, to fight against climate change. Where is the headquarter of OECD? OECD headquarter is in Paris, France. Paris, France is the headquarter of OECD. With reference to two non-conventional energy sources called as coal-bed methane and shale gas, consider the following statements: coal-bed methane and shale gas. Coal-bed methane is a pure methane gas. It's not pure methane gas. Coal-bed methane is initially the methane gas that is in coal minings. Coal-bed methane gas is extracted. This gas is extracted from the coal seams, and shale gas. While shale gas is a mixture of propane and butane, only that can be extracted from the fine grained sedimentary rocks. Even if it is only, then that is wrong. Only means that is wrong. It can be derived from many sources, right? You cannot say that shale gas only can be derived from the core sedimentary rocks. Shale gas, these are multiple sources. In India, abundant coal-bed methane sources exist, but so far as no shale gas sources have been found. This is also wrong. Whenever you see some sentence like uh, no shale gas, or there is nothing, never, only, then these statements are wrong. Okay. Then consider the following state countries. Which of the following countries are part of the interdisciplinary alliance on China? Interparliamentary alliance. Which of the following are countries are the part of Interparliamentary Alliance on China, IPAC? Interparliamentary Alliance on China. It is Australia. Yes, it is Australia is there. Then Canada is there. Russia is not there. Sweden and Norway. These four countries, they have developed Interparliamentary Alliance on China, IPAC. So this 1, 2, 4, 5 are right. Okay, so the MCQ discussion completed. Now we'll go for discussion of prelims facts. The ninth schedule. The Jharkhand Assembly recently cleared two bills. One, increasing reservation in vacant government posts and services in the state to 77%, and record, and the second, use of land records with 1932 and as the cutoff year to determine the domicile status of and the definition of the local residents. Domicile status, who has birthplace is that it will refer to the records of 1932. However, the bill came with a caveat that Chief Minister Hemant Soren did say they would force only after the center carries out amendments and include this in the ninth schedule of the constitution. So if center bring amendments in the ninth schedule of the constitution, then they will increase the reservation goes to 77%. The first bill, Jharkhand Reservation Vacancies Post Service Bill, raised reservation to 77% within the reserve category. The scheduled caste will get a quota of 12% or from the 10%, 10% 27 for OBC, or from the 14%, from 10% they will get 27%, from 14% to 28% from scheduled caste, from 2% and 10% for economic weaker sections. 2% increase, and there will be economic weaker section, there will be 10% reservation. The second will Jharkhand definition of local person, extending the consequences, social, cultural and other benefits to such local person. Bill 2022 is aimed at granting the local residents certain rights, benefits and preferences treatment over their land in their stake in local development rivers, lakes, fisheries, local traditional, cultural, commercial enterprises in the rights over agricultural indebtedness and availing agriculture loans, in maintenance and protection of land records for their social scrutiny, in employment of the in private and public sector for the trade and commerce in the state. So for trade and commerce of the state, there will be some preferences will be given to the local residents over the other people. Right? That's why it is bringing the bill, that is definition of local persons and extending social benefits to the local persons of that area. Then what is ninth schedule? Ninth schedule contains a list of central and state laws which cannot be challenged in courts. Currently, 284 such laws scheduled for judicial review. More such laws protected under the schedule concern agriculture and land issues. The schedule became a part of the constitution in 1951 when the document was amended for the first time. It was created by the new Article 31B, which along with 31A brought in the government to the protect the laws related to agrarian reform and abolishing government system. Article 31 extended away the protection classes of clause 318 states the specific laws, or 31B that states the specific laws for enactment. So the ninth schedule, will become the part of the constitution in 1951. It, it has brought the it has protected the law. It has protected the law that is about abolishing the Jamindari system and agrarian reforms. That is ninth schedule. Are laws from 9th schedule completely exempt from the judicial scrutiny? While 9th schedule provides the law for safe harbor from judicial scrutiny, it is not blanket because judicial review is the basic structure of constitution. When Tamil Nadu law challenged in 2007, I.R. Coelho versus State of Tamil Nadu, the Supreme Court ruled in unanimous 9 judge verdict. While laws placed on the 9th schedule cannot be challenged on the grounds of the violation of fundamental rights, they can be challenged on the ground of violating basic structure of constitution. Right? So anything that violates the basic structure of constitution can be challenged in the court of law in the Supreme Court. Right? Under that 9th schedule can also be violated. 9th schedule laws can also be subjected to judicial scrutiny. The court clarified that laws cannot escape the basic structure of the text inserted into 9th schedule after 1973. In 1973, basis of the doctrine evolved in the Kesavananda case, the ultimate to examine constitutional validity of laws. So, whether a law is constitutional validity must valid or not, that will be judged on the basis of Kesavananda Bharati case versus State of Kerala 1973, which says that basic structure of the constitution cannot be amended. And court in its various judgments has informed which are the basic structure of the constitution. For example, secularism. For example, territorial integrity of India. For example, parliamentary democracy. For example, federalism. For example, independence of judicial review. For example, the parliamentary system of governance. So these all are basic structure of the constitution, and any law that cannot be created if it violates the basic structure of the constitution. Right? No amendment can be done in any circumstances if they violate basic structure of the constitution. If that happens, then judiciary will declare that it is violative of the constitution or ultra vires. Personalized cell editing to treat cancer patients. Scientists have the first time used CRISPR technology, cluster regulatory interspace short palindromic repeats technology to insert genes that allow immune cells to attack the cancer cells, potentially leaving normal cells unharmed and increasing the effectiveness of immunotherapy. So now CRISPR technology, which is a gene editing technology, is now being used to treat the cancer patients. The CRISPR gene editing technology has been previously used in humans to remove specific genes allowed to immune system to more activity against cancer. That means, for example, suppose certain genome sequence, certain genome in our body, they are causing a particular disease. Then by applying molecular seizure or Cas9 is which enzyme, by applying that you can cut that portion of the genome and you can save yourself from these deadliest diseases. The research used in CRISPR technology is not only to take out specific genes but also to insert new ones in the immune cells, effectively redirecting them to recognize mutations in the patient's own cancer cells. So CRISPR technology is now being used as to treat cancer patients. Earlier it was only used for genome editing. When infused back to the patient, the CRISPR engineered immune cells preferably traffic to the cancer and become the most replicated immune cells there. Right. Suppose in a particular areas there is cancer development, then here there will be high numbers of immune cells will be there according to the CRISPR technology. Then cell therapy. The human immune system has specific receptors of immune cells that can specifically recognize cancer cells and differentiate them from the normal cells. It can recognize the cancer cells and differentiate them from the normal cells. These are different from every patient. Finding an effective way to isolation of cancer cells, insert them back into immune cells to generate a personalized cell therapy to treat cancer is the key to making the approach feasible in the large scale. After isolation, the immune receptors are used to redirect immune cells recognize cancer using the CRISPR gene editing. So there are specific receptors of immune cells. Right, they recognize the cancer cell and differentiate from normal cells, and then they provide immune system in those cancer areas. Right, that is called as cell therapy. And what is this CRISPR technology? CRISPR technology is editing genomes. Right, in our genome, everything is mentioned in our genome. So there is a particular genome sequencing that is responsible for a particular disease. If we caught that, then what will happen? We can avoid that disease. Allow researchers to easily alter the DNA sequences and modify gene functions. It has many potential applications, including correcting genetic defects, treating and preventing spread of diseases, improving growth and resilience of crops. Or resilience of crops by GM crops. It is also biotechnology also producing GM crops or genetically modified crops. CRISPR stands for CRISPR-Cas9. What is this? CRISPR are specialized structures of DNA and are protein of Cas9 that is enzyme. That is CRISPR associated enzyme but attracts like a pair of molecular scissors that is capable of cutting strands of DNA. So this CRISPR technology can cut the DNA strands. Okay, by Cas9 protein, by Cas9 enzyme. Then CRISPR technology adapted from the natural defense mechanisms of bacteria and archaea domain relatively simple single called microorganisms. Their organisms are kept to derive RNA while attacks by viruses. When the components of CRISPR are transferred to more complex organisms, those components can manipulate genes, process called as gene editing. So gene editing can be done. You can add some gene, you can remove some gene, you can cut some gene, that is called as gene editing. And that technology is called as CRISPR technology that uses an enzyme. Then how CRISPR works as a gene editing tool. Next is municipal bonds. What is this municipal bonds? The RBI in its report said that issuance of municipal bonds by civic bodies may ease out the funding required to ramp up infrastructure. Now we are a developing country, we do not have sufficient infrastructure, so we need high amount of resources. And how from where we will get these resources? One source is obviously the government revenue. Second thing is they can themselves also generate revenues, and those revenues are like this: they can generate issuance of municipal bonds. Issuance of municipal bonds means the municipal corporation they'll issue some bonds. Bond means it is a type of instrument in which for example I have said that 100 rupees bond you can purchase it by 80 rupees and in maturity you will get 100 rupees. So a fixed amount of interest is given in case of municipal bonds. The RBI in its report said that issuance of municipal bonds by the civic bodies can cut out the funding required for the ramp up infrastructure. According to RBI report, the federal government is borrowing a record 14.3 trillion rupees. Right. So $173 million this fiscal year. About one third of its expenditure. Fundraising through bond sales is less than 10% of municipal total borrowing. Right. 10% of municipal total borrowing. This fundraising by the fundraising by the municipal corporations. It is 10%. It is 10% of municipal total borrowing. A municipal bond is debt security issued by a state, municipality, country, finance its capital expenditure. It can be also stated by the state or the municipality to increase the budgetary support, including construction of the highways, bridges, and schools. Municipal bonds first issued in India 1997, 5 years after the 7th Constitutional Amendment, decentralized urban local bodies. Decentralized after the 7th Constitutional Amendment or on decentralized, it is decentralized our urban areas. Decentralized means we have there is ward committee established, there is mayor, elected mayor, corporators they develop. So that's why municipal bond started in 1997 after the 74th Constitutional Amendment and gave them autonomy, made them accountable for the citizens, reformed their finances, enabling them to access capital markets and financing institutions. The Securities and Exchange Board of India (SEBI) detailed guidelines for the issue listing of municipal bonds is given in the 2015. SEBI Securities and Exchange Board of India, when it is established, it is established in SEBI was established in 1992. It is a statutory body. Through municipal bonds, a municipal corporation raises money from individuals. A municipal corporation raises money from individuals, institutions, and promises to pay specified amount as interest. Right? A specified amount is paid. Right? As I said, 80 rupees bond is purchased, and finally they get 100 rupees. Right? These are mostly exempt from the federal taxes and most local taxes that attract high income tax brackets. So municipal bonds, high income is ensured. Okay. Benefits of municipal bond market in India. Municipal bonds can help urban local bodies to garner revenue to complete budgetary projects as property tax is the only major source of municipal revenue. Right? Only major source of urban local bodies is property tax. So they need more and more resources for the development or for the infrastructure development. The growth of the municipal bond market is critical for India's large cities and try and upgrade their cracking infrastructure. Because urbanization is increasing, accordingly, infrastructure need to be developed. Otherwise, issues like the road jams, all these things will be developed. Unhygienic things will be developed. Right? Urban areas will become highly unhygienic. There should be plantation. So such type of things need to be is essential. The ability of municipal bodies to be self-sustaining is also critical to the success of the center state projects such as smart cities and Amrut. So they need to be financially viable to implement various schemes and to develop smart city projects. Okay. Some developments were visible in the issuance of municipal bonds when Prime Minister Narendra Modi implemented various government programs at building smart cities, upgrade water, CO drainage infrastructure, but didn't yield well. There are challenges around the transparency and governance on the local bodies. Right? There is huge allegations of corruption in the local bodies. There is various challenges like transparency. There is no effectively they are not implementing the schemes. There are various challenges that exist in the local bodies. Still, that is why this municipal bond is an effective way for fundraising for the development of the municipal bonds. What is perma crisis? Collins Dictionary word of the year 2022 is perma crisis. This word is mostly widely understood as it is portmanteau of permanent and crisis. The term of permanent crisis to a long and permanent period of crisis as a result of different factors together each other. It means define the era in which we live. Some Britain inevitably ascribe genesis of that era to Brexit. Now Brexit happened, economic crisis in Britain is happening. There is pandemic, other point into pandemic. So there are various. It is permanent crisis in developing in different areas. Russian invasion in Ukraine, war is increasing in other countries, right? Terrorism is increasing. Perfectly embodies the dizzying sense of launching from the unprecedented event to right. New unprecedented things are happening at present time. This definition stems from the ancient Greek terms crisis, which describes a medical or political moment of opportunity that bifurcates into life or death, victory or defeat. It is similar to Marx's idea of human history that will lead to a final crisis. Marx's idea of human history that said that it will lead to a final crisis. It only precludes any idea of further progress. Instead of leading to something better, it denotes starting and permanently difficult situation. So everything is becoming difficult. There is environmental degradation. There is divorce rates are increasing. There social crimes are increasing. Right. Frustration among people is increasing. Mental depressed people numbers are increasing. So that we can call as permacrisis. Permacrisis suggests that every decision to accelerate difficult situation in order to come out of the other side of the risk to something far worse. Permacrisis signals not only loss of faith in progress but also neorealism in relation to what people cope with to achieve. So it actually says what is happening in the society. We are going to a permanent crisis. Now, what do you understand continental drift theory? Geography question continental drift theory discussed along with the evidences that support the theory. Continental drift theory deals with the distribution of the oceans. Distribution of oceans in the continents. It was first suggested by German meteorologist Alfred Wegener in 1912. A distribution of oceans and continent. That means why India is present at this, why the whole map, how the whole map is world map is created, how the different plates this India is situated on a particular Indian plate, right? So that different plates also. This all said it is about continental drift theory. According to this theory, continents are formed from a single continental mass, that is Pangea, and mega ocean, that is Panthalassa. So there is a big continent and there is mega ocean, that was Panthalassa around it. Now this continent that was broken, the big continent Pangea that broken out. Around 200 million years ago, Pangea started splitting and broke down into two large continental masses like Laurasia and Gondwana land. So two Laurasia and Gondwana land, two land was formed in around 200 million years. Okay. Subsequently, Laurasia and Gondwana land continued to break into various smaller continents that exist today. Evidence that support the theory. So various continents that exist today, these two components, that is Gondwana land and Laurasia, that broken into. What are the evidences? First is matching of continents, jigsaw fit. The shorelines of Africa and South America facing each other match remarkably, right? If you match the structure of Africa and America, they will fit to each other. Similarly, rocks of the same age across the oceans, radiometric dating methods have correlated the rock formation in different continents. That means, suppose Africa, the left side of Africa and the eastern side of South America, rock formation, they will have to same age rock formation. Their age is same. Then tillite, glacial tillite found in Gondwana system sediments has resemblance to six different landmasses of the southern hemisphere. Counterparts of the succession found in Africa, Falkland Island, Madagascar, Antarctica, and Australia besides India. So there is also glacial structures, right? Glacial structures that also seen in those areas, and by glacial structure we can observe that once upon a time they were linked to each other. Then placer deposits. The placer deposits of gold and Ghana coast do not have source rock in the region. The gold deposits of Ghana have been derived from the Brazil plateau, when the two continents lay side by side. Distribution of fossils. Identical species of plants and animals adapted to living on land or in fresh water are found either on either side of the marine barriers. For example, distribution of fossils. We can, yes, if we see the fossils, also distribution of fossils, we can say that they are linked. The continents are linked. A freshwater crocodile-like reptile that lived during the early Permian between 280 and 250 million are found in solely in the southern Africa and eastern southern America. Distribution of fossils. Okay. So these are the evidence that so this is placer deposits and gold, that is gold and other minerals, then fossils, then glacial deposits, the rocks, the matching of continents, is all prove that there is continental drift theory. Okay, so here the lectures ends, and like this video, share this video, and subscribe to VANIK-IAS. Thank you.